Hey y'all, so my name is Sean Aaron, he, him, his, and I am the founder and executive director of Dem Bois Inc. And I'm also the host of Dem Bois podcast. So I created this 30-day video series because I wanted to slow down. I wanted to sit with real questions and what it means to live as a black trans man in this world. And I wanted to answer them from a place of truth, care, and community. So within these videos, within this 30 days, I'm going to be focusing on three pillars within integrated within to the 30 days, right? So the first one is going to be abolition, because I believe in a world where our survival is not criminalized and our joy is not policed. Okay. Another pillar is going to be anti-capitalism, because I don't believe we should have to um, confine our trauma to be seen or to be cared for. And then also, I'm going to integrate Black queer feminism into the 30 days, because my freedom is tied to the freedom of every Black, trans, queer, femme, and disabled person who's ever been told their story was too much. And so for the next 30 days, I'll be showing up here on YouTube to answer one question each day. And so these questions are pulled from a conversation series I had originally designed for something else. But truthfully, I realized that people who needed to hear this might not be in that particular group. And I didn't want to wait, and I didn't want to hold on to all this information, right? And so whether you're trans or not, or whether you know me personally or you're meeting me for the very first time, welcome. So these reflections are on joy, grief, masculinity, healing, community, and legacy. They're vulnerable, they're political, because our existence is political. As a Black person, as a trans person, my full existence in its full authenticity is political. And these stories are mine. And so if you want to answer some of these questions alongside with me, please do leave your comments, questions in the comments. And if you just want to witness and listen, that's powerful too. So let's begin. So today, I just wanted to say first off that this series doesn't exist to go viral. It just exists to hold space, and it has a purpose. And so let's get into it. So today is day one. And my first question for today is, what does community look like for me? And so this is a really, really, really good question. And I'm going to speak from a place, not just as a Black trans man, about what community looks like for me, but I'm also going to speak from a point of view of just being a damn human being and what I think community looks like for me, right? And so, what I think about what community looks like, feels like, tastes like, sounds like to me, the first thing that comes to my mind is that if we not all free, nobody is free until we're all free. And that means Black folks, that means indigenous folks, that means immigrants, that means a whole plethora of folks. If we all do not touch freedom, we not, none of us are free. And so to me, what community looks like is healing. Community looks like for me equals peace, prosperity. I want to say prosperity lightly though, because right, prosperity means different things to different people, and so prosperity holds different types of value. So whatever prosperity means to you, right? Prosperity to someone could mean providing their, having all of their needs met. That could be prosperity. So, prosperity to somebody else could mean good health. And so so to me that means, so healing, community, prosperity, and it means thriving, really, right? And when we get to a place that we feel comfortable in our lives, then we're able to thrive. And so when I think about community on an organizational level, and so I mentioned that I'm the founder and executive director of Dem Bois Inc. And so for me, community within the organization looks like all trans men of color being able to have access to gender affirming surgeries and care regardless of their economic status. And so, meaning you go, you identify as a trans man, and to identify as a trans man, you don't have to have any gender affirming surgeries. You don't have to go through any hormone replacement therapy. Just knowing within yourself that you identify as a trans person does not equal all of those other parts. But for folks who choose to go that route medically, um, community means to me that you are taken care for. You are being looked after, and you're able to get the non-biased care that you need and deserve. And so it's almost, it's almost realistic, right? Because we live in this world where when we are not prioritized, we're not prioritized as trans folks. Me as a black man, I'm not prioritized as a black person, in this world. I want to say within this country, I don't want to say within this world, but I am not prioritized. My health is not prioritized. My mental health is not prioritized. My love is not prioritized. And so community for me looks like every all of these pieces put together, right? You got all like they're pieces of a pie. And so like all of these pieces put together and made into one whole piece. And when that whole piece comes together, that's what community looks like for me. And so what does community look like for you? For folks that are listening, watching, what does community look like for you? What is the makeup of community? How do you feel community could be better? Who is included within your community? And so go ahead and share those thoughts with me in the comments. And so I also want to make another point too, right? Of um knowing that this is about community care. And so just, let's create a thread. Share with me. Drop your thoughts below. What does community look like for you right now in this moment? What it can community look for you in the future? So see you in day 2.